Delhi Sheesh Mahal showdown escalates. BJP corners AAP over Chief Minister House splurge.
जो लोग कहते थे कुछ नहीं लेंगे, सरकारी बंगला नहीं लेंगे, घर नहीं लेंगे, गाड़ी नहीं लेंगे, किस प्रकार से करप्शन किया है उसका काला चिट्ठा सीएजी के रिपोर्ट में आता है।
CAG report fuels Sheesh Mahal row. AAP hits back, attacks Prime Minister Modi.
वो 2700 करोड़ के प्रधानमंत्री जी के आवास पे और 8,500 करोड़ के हवाई जहाज पे और 10 लाख के सूट पे कोई रिपोर्ट आई क्या?
State Award Delhi. Top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
From Kejriwal's splurge versus Modi's splurge to abusive rants to a showdown over the voter list, it's all playing down in the national capital in Delhi. Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshata Nandagopal and we'll be running you through all the big political updates, the big showdown and war of words playing out in the national capital this evening. Let's begin. The focal point of the BJP's campaign right now in the national capital in Delhi is on the renovation of the CM house, down when Kejriwal was the chief minister. And now a CAG report is what the BJP is using to go ahead and target the Aam Aadmi Party. Mind you, this isn't a CAG report that's been published, but the BJP is saying that this is the details we have from the CAG report. Here's where the money was spent according to them. TV consoles worth over 20 lakh rupees. You had a mini bar unit installed. This is during the peak COVID time, mind you. A mini bar unit that was installed at a cost of just almost 5 lakhs at 4.8 lakhs. An L-shaped sofa of 6.4 lakhs was set up in the CM's residence. A treadmill and gym equipment going up, running up to 18 lakhs. Kitchen equipment, and this is renovation of the kitchen at the CM's residence, done at a cost of 39 lakhs. Silk carpets for the entire residence, cost a whopping 16.2 lakhs. A dining table worth 4.8 lakhs was also bought, installed in the CM's residence. Full leather cladding, 5 lakhs 45,000. Now, curtains that were put up across the residence, main and sheer curtains costing up to 96 lakhs. Floor tiles up to 14 lakhs. These are details that the BJP has essentially put out, citing the CAG report, which hasn't been released just yet. Let's run you through all the allegations that the BJP has put forth and what the AAP's counter has been. Essentially, while the BJP is saying this is how Kejriwal was splurging in the peak of COVID, and you have Prime Minister Modi constantly firing the Aapada attack on Kejriwal, on the Aam Aadmi Party, AAP has responded saying, what about the Prime Minister's splurge?
The biggest flashpoint in Delhi Dangal. The luxurious bungalow of Delhi Chief Minister and the alleged mega splurge. Dubbed Kejriwal's Sheesh Mahal by the BJP, the bungalow became a focal point of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's attack.
ये कितने बड़े झूठे हैं, इसका उदाहरण इनका शीश महल है। जब दिल्ली के लोग ऑक्सीजन और दवाओं के लिए भटक रहे थे, तब इन लोगों का पूरा फोकस अपना शीश महल बनवाने में था।
The BJP piled up the heat with multiple posters slamming the criminal splurge, pitting the luxe interiors of the CM house with dilapidated Delhi roads and infrastructure. BJP alleged that the CAG report revelations on Kejriwal's official bungalow were only tip of the iceberg and that there was a total splurge of 80 crore rupees. All this after CAG report revealed that 33 crore rupees were spent on Delhi CM residence that had a TV console of over 20 lakh rupees, a mini bar unit worth over 4 lakh, L-shaped sofa worth over 6 lakh rupees, treadmill and gym equipment worth over 18 lakh rupees, kitchen equipment worth 39 lakh rupees, silk carpet worth over 16 lakh rupees, dining table worth over 4 lakh rupees, faux leather cladding worth over 5 lakh rupees, curtains worth over 96 lakh rupees, and floor tiles worth over 14 lakhs.
जो इमेजेस हमें मिले हमने तो उस पर तैयार किया क्योंकि अरविंद केजरीवाल अपने भ्रष्टाचार के म्यूजियम को दिखाना नहीं चाहते, उन्होंने इसे बंद कर रखा है। जो 100 रुपए की चप्पल और 2 रुपए का पेन लिए घूमते थे अरविंद केजरीवाल, कैसे अन्ना के सपनों को उन्होंने रौंदते हुए और दिल्ली की जनता को धोखा देते हुए ठगते हुए अपने लिए कैसे अय्याशी का सामान जुटाया है, ये तो उसकी वानगी भर है।
एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट 7 करोड़ का था, उससे 342.31% अधिक पेमेंट किया गया और जो टेंडर्ड अमाउंट था 8 करोड़ का, उससे 290.49% का ऊपर पेमेंट किया गया। आप सोचिए, इतना घोटाला तो हमने कहीं नहीं सुना होगा, वो भी एक हवेली के पीछे।
Hitting back, the Aam Aadmi Party called Prime Minister Modi a liar and accused him of splurging over his residence, a plane and suits.
वो 2700 करोड़ के प्रधानमंत्री जी के आवास पे और 8,500 करोड़ के हवाई जहाज पे और 10 लाख के सूट पे कोई रिपोर्ट आई क्या?
The Congress too slammed Kejriwal for wasting taxpayers' money for personal luxury.
जो ये शीश महल या मुख्यमंत्री निवास, जो भी आप इसको शब्द इस्तेमाल कर लीजिए, अपने में ये दिल्ली में जो पिछले 10 साल में हुआ भ्रष्टाचार है, उसका ये सबसे बड़ा, हो सकता है कीमत के हिसाब से सबसे बड़ा नमूना ना हो, लेकिन वो इस तरह के भ्रष्टाचार का सबसे बड़ा नमूना बन के आता है।
One of the major poll planks that we will see in this election season as far as BJP is concerned will be the Sheesh Mahal, and now with figures, the BJP will be going door to door and pointing fingers at the kind of renovation that was being done at the behest of the taxpayers' money for the house of erstwhile Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal. With camera person Amit, this is Aishwarya Paliwal reporting for India Today.
Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is claiming that many of their leaders will be targeted by central agencies. Arvind Kejriwal has taken to social media to claim, according to his reliable sources, that the CBI will actually be raiding Manish Sisodia's residence in the next few days. Arvind Kejriwal has said, according to my reliable sources, Sisodia will be raided. And the reason he says this is happening is because the BJP is fearing that they will lose the Delhi elections, and that's why, according to him, there will be arrests, there will be raids on AAP leaders. We've seen, of course, a whole saga of this playing out in the run-up also to the election season in Delhi, with Arvind Kejriwal himself being behind bars, currently out on bail, and a multitude of AAP leaders who faced, in fact, investigations by central agencies, who've gone behind bars and have come out. Manish Sisodia also being one of them. Shreya Chatterjee is joining us with more details on this. Shreya, the Aam Aadmi Party, of course, has repeatedly said that there's a witch hunt against them. Central agencies are being used against them. Now Arvind Kejriwal seems to be suggesting that Manish Sisodia will be targeted again.
Akshita, this is a statement that's coming from Arvind Kejriwal. Just a few days back, he initially suggested that Atish's residence would be raided. She'll be coming under the radar of the CBI, and now he's suggesting that it's Manish Sisodia who's also going to be receiving the crack of the investigative agency. This is also interesting because of the timing of what's happening in the national capital is due to the elections, and the Aam Aadmi Party and BJP has already entered a heated contest. So far as an investigation from the side of the agency, the investigation in the liquor scam is ongoing, but clearly the statement looks like more political because it could be a way of Aam Aadmi Party bringing back the CBI jibe into the Delhi election picture.
Okay, Shreya, who tracks the agencies for us, tells that yes, these cases are ongoing, but nothing really that suggests that right now there's going to be an immediate raid by the CBI against Manish Sisodia. This has long been, of course, a poll campaign by the Aam Aadmi Party to say central agencies are being misused by the BJP to also counter all of these allegations of personal corruption that the BJP is putting forth. Thanks very much, Shreya, for joining us with all of those details. And unfortunately, as is the case almost every poll season, you see the ugliest, lowest of lows when it comes to the political narrative. This time around is the man on your screens who is guilty of firing first a sexist slur against Priyanka Gandhi and then going ahead and targeting Atishi. He's now questioned who Atishi's father is, and it's obviously prompted a barrage of anger, outrage and condemnations. Delhi Chief Minister Atishi, when responding to these kind of personal attacks against her, also broke down, visibly emotional, was in tears when she spoke about the attack by Ramesh Biduri of the BJP.
मारलीना ने बाप बदल दिया, पहले मारलीना थी, अब सिंह हो गई.
Motormouth BJP Neta Ramesh Biduri is at it again.
अरे ये मारलीना, ये तो सिंह बन गई भैया. चेहरा ही नाम बदल दिया.
After sexist comment on Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, BJP's Kalkaji candidate Ramesh Biduri targeted Delhi Chief Minister Atishi. Biduri said that Atishi changed her father and her last name from Marlena to Singh.
अरे ये मारलीना, ये तो सिंह बन गई भैया. चेहरा ही नाम बदल दिया. केजरीवाल ने बच्चों की कसम खाई थी. भ्रष्टाचारी कांग्रेस के साथ नहीं जाऊंगा. मारलीना ने बाप बदल दिया. पहले मारलीना थी, अब सिंह हो गई. ये इनका चरित्र है.
इतनी घटिया हरकत करेंगे.
Delhi Chief Minister Atishi broke into tears.
बुजुर्ग व्यक्ति को गालियां देने पे उतर आएंगे.
Emotional Atishi questioned Ramesh Biduri for abusing her old and ailing father.
ये तो सिंह बन गई भैया.
मेरे पिताजी जिंदगी भर शिक्षक रहे. आज वो 80 साल के हो गए हैं. वो इतने बीमार रहते हैं कि बिना सहारे के चल नहीं पाते हैं.
Ramesh Biduri's remarks drew massive flack from AAP and Congress netas.
आतिशी के पिताजी 80 साल की उम्र के हैं, वृद्धावस्था में है, बीमार है, और ऐसी हालत में आप उनको गालियां दे रहे हैं. शर्म नहीं आती? मैं समझता हूं भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस देश की सबसे बड़ी गुंडों और गालीबाजों की पार्टी है.
आपको लगता है भाजपा के उम्मीदवार रमेश बिदूरी जी की जो भाषा के बाद आप उन्हें हाई और प्रोफाइल करते हैं, इतना लो वो चले गए हैं कि भाषा का संयम, अभी तो चुनाव शुरू भी नहीं हुआ है, अभी तो उनको उम्मीदवार बनाया ही है.
The BJP distanced itself from Biduri's personal attacks.
मैंने रमेश जी का पूरा बयान नहीं सुना है, लेकिन जो जानकारी मिली है, समाज में महिलाओं का अपना एक विशेष योगदान रहता है और किसी भी राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में या किसी भी सामाजिक क्षेत्र में काम करने वाली जो माताएं बहनें होती हैं, उनका सम्मान करना और ये हम सबका दायित्व बनता है.
Earlier, Ramesh Biduri had to express regret after facing massive criticism for sexist slur on Priyanka Gandhi Vadra.
सारी की सारी सड़कें प्रियंका गांधी के गाल जैसे जरूर बना देंगे. ये तो सिंह बन गई भैया.
Will Biduri's personal jibes hit BJP poll prospects in Delhi?
कसम खाई थी.
With Piyush Mishra and Rahul Gautam, Bureau Report, India Today.
पहले मारलीना थी, अब सिंह हो गई. ये इनका चरित्र है.
So while you're seeing this war of words between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, let's talk about the other big political player currently in Delhi. the Congress. Now, there has been a lot of talk within the Aam Aadmi Party about whether the Congress is now gaining back some of its lost ground in the national capital. And that is worrying for the Aam Aadmi Party. Here's why. I'll show you what the vote share has been like in the last few years, in the last few elections for the BJP, the AAP and the Congress. The blue here is the Congress, the saffron, the BJP, and then you'll have the pink coming up, of course, from 2013, because in 2008, the AAP didn't exist. What I want you to notice very closely here is particularly what happened in 2015. The BJP from 33% went to 32%, so just a slight drop there. But the AAP shot up all the way to 54%, and it is at the same time that the Congress went down to 10%. Essentially, the AAP gained ground by eating into the Congress's vote share. Similarly, you see, in fact, the numbers as far as really the latest elections, also the 2020 elections goes, the Congress slipped further, which meant advantage AAP as well. Let's bring you also details of how castes and communities have voted previously, and again, how castes and communities that were with the Congress earlier have shifted over to the Aam Aadmi Party, which means, again, it was a setback for the Congress. And these are those numbers that you have here. Whether you look at the Brahmin or the Rajput vote or any of the others, where you have the Congress dipping to minus, you've got the AAP soaring upwards to 40, 41% and whatnot. And all of this directly shows you that the AAP gains when the Congress falls down. Now, with all reports suggesting that, yes, the Congress may do slightly better than previously, that they're starting to gain some of their lost ground, it is worrying for the Aam Aadmi Party, because they are worried that that will translate to them losing some of the vote share that they've gained, courtesy the Congress losing out. You had today also the Congress coming out with the first of their many guarantees, called Pyari Didi, essentially a dole for women voters. Remember, the Aam Aadmi Party has already announced it. Now the Congress has announced it. They've announced 2,500 rupees for women voters in the national capital. It'll be interesting to see what the BJP actually puts out. But let's also explain to you how we've been seeing this freebie season taking center stage right now in the national capital. It's election season in Delhi, and the focus is once again on Revdi culture or freebie culture. The Aam Aadmi Party has announced free water, free power, free healthcare and whatnot. But let's now decode for you the history of freebie culture in India and if this kind of politics actually hurts the country's economy. Freebies. The practice of handing out doles to people has become a practice, a norm, a part and parcel every election season. So let's tell you how this started and how it's become intrinsic to Indian politics. First, let's start with the basics. What does the term freebie actually mean? Essentially, that something is being given free of cost. I'm sure you've heard the word Revdi a lot before, and if you're wondering what it is, it's the Hindi word for freebies. But it's important here to make a distinction between the types of freebies, between welfareism and a freebie. So what's the difference? I'll highlight it using examples. Now, promising free education, offering midday meals, that's a welfare scheme. That's welfareism being pushed. Giving free cycles, TVs, mixers, grinders, those are all outright freebies. So let's now talk about the history of freebies in India, for which we have to go back in time to the 1950s. It was in Tamil Nadu first that we saw freebies actually taking root. K. Kamaraj, then Chief Minister of erstwhile Madras State, introduced SOPs like free education and free meals for school students. And then every leader in Tamil Nadu followed suit, upping the ante essentially also on these kind of promises and schemes. In 1977, Dr. MGR, as Chief Minister, used midday meals to attract more children to school. And to date, the scheme is active in Tamil Nadu and, of course, has been emulated by almost every state in the country today. But it was also Tamil Nadu that moved beyond welfareism. Free TVs, mobiles, cycles, grinders, mixies, you name it, it was offered in party manifestos and has become a part and parcel of Dravidian politics. It's worked in wooing voters, but the welfare schemes also that Tamil Nadu parties focus on have helped in ensuring that the economy of Tamil Nadu isn't dented. And it was bound to become a national talking point as well, because regional parties, most of them now offer freebies. I'll give you a few examples. Naveen Patnaik's 1 rupee per kilo rice scheme in Odisha. Nitish Kumar's free bicycle scheme for school-going girls in Bihar. Jai Lalita's distribution of 8-gram gold for brides. Mamata Banerjee's cash incentives for girls and health insurance scheme in West Bengal, subsidized food grains by Yogi Adityanath in Uttar Pradesh. And then in Delhi, free electricity, water from Arvind Kejriwal's government in Delhi was promised years ago and continues now. The AAP, interestingly, in 2015, when it came to power with a promise of free water and free power, cracked that code of freebies. And since then, every party has attempted to emulate the model to woo voters in state polls and in national polls too. For example, the Congress has 5 guarantees that it promises in every state. The BJP has claimed that they're against freebie politics. Prime Minister Modi has repeatedly spoken out against this freebie culture and has said it's dangerous for the country. But now, looking at the BJP's manifestos in, let's say, Haryana or Jharkhand, the BJP essentially has modelled freebies as welfareism, but has also promised doles to vote banks. So let's ask the crucial question here. Who pays for these freebies? Well, the answer to that is simple. You do. It is, unfortunately, the state exchequer that pays for freebies, and in states where the economy can handle it, it doesn't feel a pinch. There isn't a dent. It's a whole other story, however, when states are already financially crippled. The cost of these freebies for some states is estimated to be as high as 96,000 crore rupees, or 2.2% of a state's GDP. Let's take a look at some of these examples. Freebies or subsidies in Maharashtra could cost the state up to 960 billion rupees, or about 2.2% of the GDP in the state. In Karnataka, it's about 1.9% of the state GDP. Telangana, it's about 352 billion rupees, roughly 2.2% of the GDP of the state. But what do all these numbers mean? Essentially, that there's very little room for development. In Karnataka, the Congress government has admitted repeatedly that they have no money for development because they have to fulfill their guarantees, and therefore they've hiked up prices of essentials. What that means effectively is that you're actually paying for these so-called freebies one way or another. In poll-bound Delhi, Kejriwal has announced 1,000 rupees per month for women, which is projected to cost 4,560 crores annually. With that, Delhi's subsidy bill nears 11,000 crores, which means in the next financial year, Delhi is actually staring at a budgetary deficit. But who cares? Because it's getting votes. So are there any guidelines? Who draws the lines essentially on freebies? Let me highlight here what the Supreme Court said on December 9th, 2024 on freebies, and I'm quoting here. For how long can freebies be given? Why don't we work to create job opportunities, employment and capacity building for these migrant workers? Now, there have been multiple petitions before the Supreme Court. They exist even now, seeking restrictions on freebies. And the top court in the past repeatedly has put the onus on the Election Commission. The EC on its part has said it's impossible to curb what parties mentioned in their manifesto, but has issued guidelines. So under its MCC, which is Model Code of Conduct Guidelines, the Election Commission has said, and I quote, "In the interest of transparency, level playing field and credibility of promises, it's expected that manifestos also reflect the rationale for the promises and broadly indicate the ways and means to meet the financial requirements for it. Trust of voters should be sought only on those promises which are possible to be fulfilled." But is the above followed? Not really, as political parties have never actually disclosed the cost of freebies they promise or the repercussion it has on the state economy. So let's break down for you the announcements that have been made by the Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress and the BJP when it comes to, doles for women. You had the Aam Aadmi Party first announcing the CM Mahila Samman Yojana, which means that they've promised 1,000 rupees per month for women right now, which will be raised, according to them, to 2,100 rupees if the Aam Aadmi Party comes back to power. This was an announcement made by Arvind Kejriwal just weeks ago. Today you have the Congress, DK Shivkumar, announcing the first of their 5 guarantees, which, remember, has become the Congress's go-to in the election campaign. You saw it in Maharashtra, in Telangana, in Karnataka as well. This time around, the Congress has a Pyari Didi Yojana, which is 2,500 rupees will be given per month to women. As far as the BJP goes, they're yet to go ahead and make any announcement, but sources tell us that much like the BJP schemes in Madhya Pradesh or in Maharashtra, the Ladki Behna scheme, you're going to see a similar announcement being made in the national capital too. All of this being done to woo the woman vote in the national capital.